Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. This is Rome Business Radio. We are broadcasting from our Hardy Realty Studios inside the Manus Business Center, located at the corner of Broad Street and Turner McCall Boulevard in the heart of downtown Rome, Georgia. And we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
And I'm Thomas Kislet with the Rome Floyd Chamber.
What's going on, Thomas? How are we?
Go Braves, Roger. What a week.
Awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
We could do 3 hours on sports, but
right.
that's not why we're here.
Exactly.
But I love Braves country, and the fact that Braves country is celebrating this is awesome.
I like to eat.
Yeah, so nice segue. would you mind introducing our guest, please?
Okay, we have three guests today from representing two businesses, and we have here Anne and Paul Malkmus. And they're with River Wellness Lodge, brand new chamber members, and then also fairly new members and new to Rome. Kahynan Akers with Fazoli's in our new development here on the East Bend.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are we doing? It's kind of an odd mix. We were joking before the show. We've got the diet and nutrition to take care of your body long term, and then the pasta and pizza place, which can be healthy.
Taking care of your spirit. That's what that's for.
Amen.
It's for the soul.
But thanks to everybody for joining us. So I am interested, Thomas, you touched on this because this has been a thing we focused on here the last few weeks as the chamber has really grown and had the new membership drive. You guys at River Wellness, you're a new member of the chamber? And what prompted you to join and participate in the Chamber of Commerce?
We're new in the area. We thought this would be a great opportunity for us to get to know the area businesses and have them get to know us as well.
All right, new to the area, where are you from?
Well, I think our recent place was Florida.
Oh, you bounced around, have
Do a lot of bouncing.
And tell everybody, just give us an overview of River Wellness Lodge.
River Wellness Lodge is a combination of my dream from several years back. And one of the primary things we like to do is we like to help people try to change their diets a little bit so that they can actually improve their health just by their diet and their lifestyle. That's one of the primary things we're doing. In addition to that, we also have some extraordinary gentle detox therapies and gentle immune enhancing therapies that we actually got from Germany.
Okay, so what Thomas, I know that intrigues you because you're native of Germany, East Germany, back before the wall, which we always talk about, and I want to do a whole show with you one day.
Yeah, we were happy to have dry bread.
Which is crazy based on how we grow up here, obviously. But what's the German connection? Do y'all have a German connection?
We both are.
Okay.
Yeah, we both have German connection. But what's really important is when we started to study nutrition and health and wellness and that sort of thing, we always ended up back in Germany because the Germans tend to have some pretty amazing methods to be able to help people get back into vitality and well-being. The Germans are very much a part of why people are going to Germany when they're not well.
Oh, that's interesting. Such as, can you give me some examples of diet tips, like off the top, that you would suggest to people, or do we need to come to your lodge to find out?
No, not at all. It's not a secret. The number one diet tip is start drinking water.
Heard that a lot.
That's not that hard. The number two diet tip is when you're drinking and you're eating healthy, you've got to keep moving. So it's not just a diet tip. It's a tip that says keep walking, keep moving. That's really important just as much as what you're eating.
Right. So how does this work, Paul? You have the River Wellness Lodge. Tell me about the facility. Is this a stop by for appointments, or people come stay for a while? How does this work?
Yeah, we actually do both. So it's a large 8,000 square foot lodge, and it has multiple bedrooms, and they're all en suites. So we have people that come and stay for a week at a time. We have this coming Sunday, we have a whole group starting, and they'll be with us for the 5 days. And so we'll put them through both therapies, which Anne mentioned, the therapies which come from Germany. And a lot of those therapies are things you rarely find in the States, but they really help to empower the body and the self-healing within the body. And it's really neat what's able to do that. Anne does consulting, so they go through a consultation with her, and she finds out what's going on, how their body is functioning, and then she gives a lot of recommendations. And then we're also able to do scans where we're able to see what's stressing the body. So what in the body is causing the body to break down, And then we're able to come back with remedies for that helps to strengthen the body. So we think of the body as this abstract thing that when we get sick, we need certain things, but the body wants to be healthy. And we just need to figure out what it needs to maintain that health.
Okay. Some of that went right over my head because my body needs pasta.
You got a perfect place to go.
You got a great place for that.
Kahynan, how long has Fazoli's been open? It's new, right?
Yes, sir. August 31st was grand opening day.
And full disclosure, I have eaten there, and it's wonderful.
Glad you enjoyed it.
So tell us a little bit about the experience of not only opening, how is business going since you've opened?
Very well. I've been in Rome for the last 5 years, and I felt like Rome was ready for Fazoli's. I mean, and it's been going from where I used to work to here, it's been a very different experience for me. And it's very family oriented. It's nice to have pasta and that sort of an Italian food that's real Italian food, and to get it as quickly and in the quality that you can, and it's available, and it's very nice, and it's a very family oriented restaurant. It's a very family oriented and family friendly organization, and everyone up top just cares about everyone down below, and everyone down below cares about everyone up top. It was a wonderful process. And
a little bit about the menu. We were just saying pasta and pizza, but I mean it runs the gamut.
Oh, there's a lot of options. It's funny that I'm sitting here with two health advisors here. It's if you're worried about your calorie count or if you're into bodybuilding, I work out often, and pasta is great for runners. Kind of that carbo load, if that's kind of the route that you take. It's a good carbo load and only like 600 calories. We have a keto combo flatbread. We have gluten-free options, great and wonderful salads. So it's a very fresh array of foods, and it provides plenty of options. Like anyone can walk in and kind of get what they want, which is very nice. It caters to everybody.
And tell people where you're located.
We're located on 42 Hicks Drive, right there in the new East Bend Center. Right next, we're sandwiched in between Five Below and Texas Roadhouse. So we're the big green building.
Yet another reference to Thomas, where when people say where they're located, they have to reference a restaurant.
Yeah, my restaurant is located next to another restaurant.
Right. Where are you guys located at River Wellness?
We're out on the Kingston River. Etowah River, rather, in Kingston. So if you're going Hardin Bridge Road, yep, and then turn right onto Jones Slough, then it's on the right-hand side.
Well, we were making light of this, but really any restaurant nowadays, even if it's a fast food drive-through place, they have some healthy options somewhere. It's just a matter, you might have to search through the menu a little bit, but is that the type of things you would encourage people, even if they have, I've got to grab McDonald's one day quickly or Wendy's or something, there's something there that they can find that's healthy, right?
What we found is, depending on the restaurant, if you ask for something particular and just say, hey, can you just steam me some vegetables, or can I just have something that doesn't have a lot of salt on it? They're very accommodating. Oh, yes. So it isn't necessarily that you have to go in with the thinking that, okay, I've got to find something. Many of these restaurants are very willing to give you what you need.
Oh, I have a buddy of mine. He's extremely, I think he's the word is anaphylaxis to cheese. Like he can't, like it will, even if it's in the air, it makes him itch. So, I've always been worried about him ever since I met him when we go out to eat, but we'll go out to eat and he's just like, hey, if I touch cheese, that's it for me. Is there any way that there's a pot or a pan? Is there a section that's away from everything else? And people are like, oh yes, of course. And they make it up for him. When he comes and eats for me, I just do everything separate. I do everything fresh, and he's totally safe. So I think people, like you said, people are extremely accommodating, and you wouldn't think it but it's a simple, hey, can you just keep my stuff away?
Right.
And they take care of them. And
We've had some of the best meals we've ever had. Was we asked the chef to fix something for us based on our likings, and tables around us would look and say, that really looks good. What did you get?
Right.
As a father of an 11-year-old, I'm telling you, speaking to the chef or to the serving staff, with particular wishes, only spaghetti, but no green stuff, no sauce. So very accommodating,
That's right.
You just have to talk to them.
So your kid's very demanding, Thomas? Is that what you're telling us?
Whose fault is that?
I don't know. Well, just from a business perspective, River Wellness, how long have you guys been open?
Well, we just moved into that lodge probably in March, and we had done some pretty significant renovations there, primarily a pretty impressive looking kitchen. So what we've done is we've been doing the health retreats for a number of times, but we're just recently opening it up to the community so that they can make appointments and they can come in. What we have is just too valuable to not share. So we didn't feel that we had to just do health retreats. We really wanted the community to be a part of this.
Is it like, do you guys have like a day trip option, a 2-day, like a weekend?
Yeah, we do. We have options for somebody that wants to just spend the night, one night. Perhaps they need a little bit more, but they don't want the whole big health retreat experience. So yes, we're doing that. Or you can just come in and schedule a scan and a consult and maybe even 1 or 2 therapies, and you're done for the day. It's pretty simple.
Just speaking about business in general, kind of a question for both businesses here, since you're relatively new, entrepreneurial, just business. What are the headaches of cranking up? Getting going, getting the word out, how do you navigate that?
The hardest part for us has been finding quality employees. I have a feeling I'm not the only one.
My hiring process was long, and we got there. I'll tell you what, we were we were surprised. I spent every day, 7 days a week, 9 to 5, doing interviews. When I wasn't doing interviews, I was at home scheduling interviews. And I had to get to a staff of, our number goal was 70, and I made it just barely. It was tough, but we were hiring for about 2 months, gearing up into the grand open. It was long and intrusive.
Yeah, I've heard of that being a little bit of a headache among businesses now. Is that pandemic related, or do we know what's causing this?
It didn't help.
Yeah, yeah,
not one bit. It was when you're competing with with government care and now everybody's in competition with one another. It used to be when I was kind of first starting to work, you couldn't poach from each other. Now poaching's encouraged. People ask my employees how much I pay them in the drive-through, and it's a madhouse, to be honest.
We get people asking how much they get paid before they even find out what the job is. So they're less interested about the job than they are about, well, what's in it for me.
Oh, like in an interview?
Well, even on a phone call.
Yeah.
Now we actually have an exceptional chef, but she has to drive from Sandy Springs to come here.
Wow.
That's how hard it is to find people.
Yeah, the kitchen work. I have people from Cedartown coming in to work here.
Well, are you in a situation with the restaurant business? Because I'm ignorant, other than eating a lot. Do you have a lot of turnover naturally anyway?
So turnover is one of those things that can be avoided with a good environment. I actually pride myself on having a low turnover, because I take care of my employees.
There you go.
It's one of those things where it's like a lot of people will take less pay for a good work environment, and I pay my people very fairly. I treat them very well. My raises come, and I evaluate them. And if they're doing good, I reward them. I treat my people very well, and a lot of people stay for a good work environment. And it's one of those things where some people focus on, if I just pay them more, they'll stay. But then they still have crazy high turnover rate, where if you at least take care of them, they'll stick around. And that's something that I, as a person, very much value. And then with a company that kind of backs me and supports me with taking care of my employees, I've been able to retain a lot of my original staff.
And like, what is your background work wise? Have you always been in the restaurant business?
No, my first job was actually at Rite Aid Pharmacy. And then,
so you were a drug seller.
I slipped the pills now. But after that, I went into Firehouse. And my first experience as a manager was at Cookout. I worked there for 5 years, and then a little over a year ago, he promoted me to manager. They made me an AGM. I was in the Calhoun store for 6 months. And I just did very well there, building that store up. And then after I left there, I found myself with Fazoli's, and they sent me to Kentucky to train for a month and a half, which they had a very nice training process. But this was actually my first general manager position, running a store. And even though I had a co-AGM and then a GM above me, but we split up the duties so much at Cookout that I had the experience going into Fazoli's, and I've always been a training and hiring manager. So that's kind of my shtick, if you will.
Yeah.
It's what I'm good at.
Well, yeah, it's one of the things we do talk about from time to time is some people kind of bounce around from career to career. Some start in one and find a home eventually. But some do the same thing from day one. They've just always wanted to do it. Like, so Ann and Paul, what is y'all's background? What attracted you to this area?
Well, we've been in health and nutrition for 30 years.
30 plus years.
Yeah, 30 plus years. We have another company that we've ran for 30 years. It's all in health and nutrition, and it's still operating. It's in another state. So we moved here actually because of the lodge, the facility. We've been looking for the lodge. And you want to tell a little bit about your background?
No.
Well, don't get all shy on us now, Ann.
You got this.
So
have I seen you on a wanted poster somewhere? And
You never know.
She had some IBS, fibromyalgia, back in the 90s, irritable bowel syndrome, and our daughter had arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and it caused her to go on a path to find out what helps the body heal. And by just changing her lifestyle, she was able to overcome those physical issues. My dad had colon cancer back in the 70s, and he found somebody that told him if he changed his lifestyle, that his cancer would go away. And within a year, his cancer was gone, but also his arthritis, his dandruff, his allergies, all of his physical problems were gone. And that pushed us down this path of understanding what the body needs. And it's just like if you cut your finger, you put a Band-Aid on the finger, the Band-Aid doesn't heal. The Band-Aid just helps create the environment for healing. So when we're cutting on the inside, when we're hurt on the inside, whether it's a disease or just some other thing, we need to find out what's causing that. And when we remove the cause, the body heals. And it's just a miraculous body. We call it the miraculous self-healing body because it's able to heal.
Yeah, I've heard this analogy before. If the body is a machine and it needs fuel, and the type of fuel you put in it ultimately determines how well it will run.
Absolutely.
Try putting Coca-Cola in your nice car. See what happens.
Oh, see, I love Sprite.
Well, put that in your car.
It's a Coca-Cola product, but I'm a big Sprite Fanta Orange person. But great. Now you got me thinking about all this.
Well, and that's what we do.
But I can go have a salad at Fazoli's and drink water,
And it
right?
balances out. See, that's
right.
Give and take.
So we want people to think, so we're not all perfect. We teach a lot of good, better, best. So we try to meet people where they're at in their life and try to help them improve their health and their life by just making different choices. And it doesn't have to be a way extreme. You can do all sorts of things and still improve your health.
So back to, you guys said you came here for the lodge. Had you been looking around and this just kind of seemed like a perfect fit?
It really was. We actually rented a place in Canton, Georgia last year during COVID. Wanted to see whether this was something we wanted to do and whether people around us or even in the whole country would want to do during COVID. As crazy as that year was, we were busy every month. People flew in, they took the train in, they drove in from West Coast, East Coast, Upper, North, South. We were amazed. So after that 1 year in Canton, and we no longer were able to rent a place, then we decided, well, okay, this seems to be something people are searching for. So then we found this lodge.
Well, that's interesting. So if your service is that unique, that, I mean, are there not places like this on the West Coast, for example? Or are you really that unique where
really are that unique.
People seek you out? Yes. That's a good place to be business-wise.
Kingston, Georgia. Who'd have guessed, right?
And it's one of the, we're kind of a clinic, you could call it, but we're one of the best equipped clinics in the country. We have equipment that just blows you away, and not just one type of equipment. We have multiple things, and most of them, they're very limited. So we have one that's probably only a dozen of them in the country. We have another one, there's less than 1,000 of them in the country. And so it's when we start putting these together, it creates a real dynamic shift for people in a very short period of time.
So is it about changing a mindset to create new habits? Is it?
Well, some of it's mindset, but some of it's knowing where to start and what to do. So people want to be healthy. They're trying to be healthier, but they don't have a clue where to start. One of the ladies,
I start on the couch watching football, eating ice cream.
That's where I am too.
Hey, you're lifting that finger up.
You're getting good exercise.
Lifting that arm.
I'm joking.
Ann has somebody she's worked with here locally, and within just a few weeks, she's just full of energy. She feels so much better. And I mean, she came over yesterday and she's just singing the praises of how much different she feels just by Ann's taking some time and helping her identify things that would improve her health.
And how many employees do you guys have? And
well, currently here we just have a couple.
Yeah.
But in our other location, we're running right now about 25, I think.
Where's that other location?
That's in North Carolina.
Okay. But the goal here is to get this thing going and running, and it's already delivering results in the community. And
absolutely.
So, Kahynan, what have you guys done out of the gate to kind of market? Are you on social media? Did you do advertising, or did you just put your sign up and say, "Come have a good meal"?
So we kind of put the sign up, and then also, I mean, I put flyers pretty much everywhere. I know that we were in the newspaper when it was announced that we were building there, and we got the land. We use social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Fazoli's kind of handled mass blasting that out, but it was largely word of mouth. You know, a lot of people, I'd leave a flyer somewhere and people would tell me, they'd be like, "Oh, you're with Fazoli's, we're excited," you know? And I'm like, "How'd you hear about it?"
hey, and you also joined the chamber.
I also did join the chamber, which really helped. I mean, it was, I remember when we did the dinner for you guys, you know, seeing all the people there, I was excited. I was so excited to join the chamber. I mean, that was something that was kind of a goal of mine in some form of capacity. And then to get to do it through Fazoli's has been like, that's cool. That's really cool to me.
So, what headaches did other than, I guess, hiring, kind of getting the building built? That whole complex was being built, of course, but just everything that was going on coming out of a pandemic, to give us the headaches.
Well, I mean, building it was just a process. I mean, you can get wood, you can't get wood. You know, this thing, like he was saying, there's only 10 of these in the country. There's like people not working on steam tables. It's like you need someone to fix it, but they don't have employees. There's people, and then your vendors are dealing with their own headaches. So it's like you can get this, you can't get that. One week you have this food item, the next week you don't. So it's like it's one of those things where it's so turbulent, and all of a sudden it can take a quick turn, and you kind of have to adjust. And you're all while working under a timeline. So it's like get staff, build the building. Oh, you can't get wood. You have a bad hiring day where only 2 of your interviews show up, and it's like you can feel kind of some doubt kind of in the process. And then you have a really good day. They progressed the building. You hired 15 people, all your interviews showed up. The vendor is able to get this to you tomorrow. And it's kind of that give and take of good and bad days where, and by the end of it, you come out okay.
Yeah. It's interesting how the GM of a restaurant, I mean, you literally touch everything.
Oh yes, a lot of people will think it's kind of just you hire, you schedule, you work a bit. It's like no, there's everything.
and on top of that, I have to say, I don't know if he would talk about that. Kahynan is a paid actor with the local Shakespeare Rome Shakespeare Festival people.
Awesome.
So I was also in the middle of that.
Yes.
So we were, and I got with them before I took the job at Fazoli's, and I was like, I'm gonna do both, and I was. Whew. But we landed both planes.
As a paid actor, that makes you professional.
Yes, sir.
So what? Give me some of your roles that you might have played and stuff that I might have heard of, because
I've done. So I'm actually fairly new to it, but I was just in The Tempest as King Alonzo for the Shakespeare Festival. I actually just finished Sleepy Hollow, and I played Brom. Which was super cool. And then getting involved with them going forward with, I don't know if you know Drew Davidson. He just recently took over the Rad, and I'm getting involved with them on some of their comedy stuff. So they're doing stand up, improv, all of that. I'll be, going forward, I'll be taking care of all of those.
Should we get his autograph
before
he leaves?
It's kind of like crypto, so get it now.
Go see him at Fazoli's now while you can, people, before he's on the big screen and forgets all about us.
I'll still be eating Fazoli's.
So will I. Okay, just as we kind of wrap up here, final thoughts. Want to make sure everybody has to make sure they get out any final thoughts they make sure they want to convey, but also website information, social media. How can people connect with you, follow you, things like that?
Promotions, ribbon cuttings.
Yeah.
So at the River Wellness Lodge, you can gather more information by looking at riverwellnesslodge.com. That's the first area. We are having a ribbon cutting on Monday, November 22nd at 3 p.m. You are all welcome to come here to that place. I warn you now, you're going to want your fishing rod because you're right on the river. So it's just so gorgeous. We also are having a holiday open house on Saturday, December 4th, starting at 10 a.m. At that point, you're also going to have not just food tasting and food demonstrations and therapy demonstrations, but we have some pretty incredible drawings. So you'll be able to go home, if not that day, then by the end of the day, you'll have your name in a basket, and you'll be able to have all sorts of appliances and wonderful foods and all sorts of great ideas coming back with you to start your holiday season.
Oh, that's perfect. Are you guys on social media?
Not yet.
Okay. But so the website's the place to go?
Yep, riverwellnesslodge.com.
And that's got phone number, email, what have you, to get a hold of you.
That's right.
Okay, Kahynan, Fazoli's, how can we, other than going by and partaking, how can folks connect? Website, social media?
You can always Google us. Thefazolis.com is kind of the best way to get to us. We are starting DoorDash and Uber Eats, not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after next. So we'll be able to take the food to you, maybe at the lodge.
So you cater? Do you cater to corporate events and holiday parties?
We are starting our catering, opening up this month.
Awesome.
We cater to any events, meetings. I just catered to the hospital just the other day. Meetings, birthdays, all of it. All sporting events, corporate events, we cater it all.
Awesome.
Thomas, what's been our theme?
Food. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, let's eat. But no, seriously, it was a great mix of people. And it's not really about the competition. There's not really a competition because you teach about, balance and healthy lifestyle. And it was great to hear how you involved in the community, and that shows, with retaining your staff, and I felt connected with you the first time we met because you feel comfortable, it's like a family feel, and the family feel is like the chamber. So every new chamber member, we welcome them as a family member. We just had a ribbon cut yesterday, and we want to treat you like that. And also, we want to encourage everyone with each other to, treat themselves, as a family member and talk to them. If you have questions, reach out to us. We don't have all the answers at the chamber, but we know exactly where to find it. And we're really looking forward to the ribbon cutting in a few weeks and to see your wonderful lodge in Kingston.
And for those that are listening, Thomas, the Chamber's website and all that, the Chamber's growing, membership is growing, and it's a great place to be. How can people reach out to you?
Great place to be. The easiest way is just, Google Rome Floyd Chamber, and it gets you to our website. RomeGA.com is our website. We're on 1 Riverside Parkway, downtown, corner of Broad Street. And, just Google Rome Floyd Chamber, and we are happy to help you.
And the beauty of the internet, of course, is this podcast plays globally wherever, if you want to do business in a great town and you're looking to move somewhere as you guys did, come on. We'd love to have you.
We had listeners, by the way, from Jamaica last week.
That's right. We did.
Wow.
That's the beauty of the internet. Isn't that great? I mean, what has happened here in the last with technology and communication during my lifetime just blows me away sometimes, but that's another show. Thanks, everybody, so much for being here. This has been the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight, broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. For Thomas Kislett at the Chamber, I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio. Thanks so much for listening.